Hey, y'all, we back live. We back. You know what I'm saying we're gonna get to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't up here last week, y'all. Just want to take a little rest from doing all this. Crystal, but me and Crystal, we be busting our butt researching and doing so much stuff, and just
Yeah,
trying to really get this channel popping. It's popping now, But
it is.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming up here and viewing the videos, all the
Mhm.
shorts. I noticed they've been going up. Keep liking and subscribing. Liking the videos, go back watch all the videos to bring you up to date to now. You'll get the full understanding of the full story. We may repeat certain things, but it'll be just a continuation. What we've
Right.
been saying. Also, yeah, like, share, and subscribe, and we're gonna get into it. Where we gonna start at, Crystal?
Okay. I wanted to start at Divine Connection with Katrina Dills McCall.
Okay, yeah,
YouTube interview Laura Cowan did 3 years ago.
okay. Let me find that. I
And
know
so
you said that to me.
mhm.
What that was that. But you go ahead and talk. I'm gonna look at it because I know we got
It's-
videos.
yeah, so I watched the video 2 weeks ago, and it was kind of alarming because she mentioned that she was under a 24/7 microscope in the home by her boyfriend, and that he starved her and he fed her when he wanted to feed her. And when he was really nice, he would give her a really nice plate of food to eat. So I wanted to clarify with everyone that that was not the case at all, and that didn't happen to her. Again, she's using me and my sibling's story. It was actually the other way around. They fed us when they wanted us to eat. And then she mentioned that her son was so skinny, she could put her own arm, her whole hand around his wrist. And the last time I checked is that most children are petite. You got kids that might be a little overweight, a little obese, but you could still fit your
Mhm.
finger around the wrist. Like, look, I can fit my finger around my own wrist. And so I'm just like, I mean, that didn't even
Makes sense.
describe any abuse that took place. It just didn't make any sense. Why was she even saying that about a child's wrist being too small? I could tell you this is that during that time, nobody in the home could fit their hand around her wrist because she was huge. And like several of me and my sister and brother said, there was no starvation of her. She weighed more than everybody in the home, even our own parents. So there was no starvation of her. And for her saying this stuff, we're going to consistently debunk everything she says out of her mouth about this case, because this case was not about her. It was about me and my siblings.
Yep.
That's who it was about. And then on top of that, you know, she sits and she twists and turns every story that she learned of from one person that knew us really well in the state of California, one family friend that knew us really well, that had a relationship with our father and has a child with our father. She takes stories that she told her, and I believe she twists those stories too, because I don't believe, knowing who Adrian was, and Adrian ain't really spoken. None of us have really spoken. It's been Laura out there on the campaign trail for the last 20, 25 years. She
Yep.
made herself a public figure. She made herself available to be out there, and not just talking about, us all the time. We're big time to her. We're the story. We're big time to
Yeah.
her.
And what's crazy, she states that dad knew she wrote this letter and he was curious about it. But previously she said that she was hiding the letter. So which is it?
Yeah. And she told Katrina Dills McCall on her own YouTube page, she lied to the lady and told the lady on Divine Connection that she was up under a microscope around Dad 24/7. So if you was up under a microscope around Musa 24/7, how was you able to write a letter, a 26-page letter?
And he knew about it.
Yeah. Being under a microscope 24/7, that means you're like incarcerated in a jail and you have like a guard sitting there watching you.
But dad had y'all watching her. That's what she claimed.
Yep. That's the next thing. Blame it on us. And we were the kids in the home being mistreated by her. I ain't even going to talk about the other adults, but I'm going to talk about her. We all was being mistreated by her. That's what I want to talk about today. We all in that home was being mistreated by her. She was abusive emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, and psychologically.
Yeah.
She was. I don't care what she tells anybody in society. I don't care what judge put him away. I don't care what the district attorney or any of those detectives say. We lived in that house. We have eyes. We weren't blind. We're the facts. And we told what happened. And we're going to keep telling what happened.
I don't care what CNN says. I don't care what those documentaries she be on that they were talking about. None of those people lived in the home.
Yeah. So you can't say and anything that these so-called podcasts or CNN, any of these stations want to say, your guesses is just pure speculation. And speculation is not true.
Exactly. You're right.
It's not true. You got to have facts. And the thing is that when you got individuals that lived in the home and saw exactly what happened, then believe it. That's what I'm just telling you. We saw exactly what happened. And I'm getting off into her today because it's been so much of us sitting around and we didn't allow it. We just didn't want to be in the media and be involved with it. But now that we have this platform that our brother built for all of us to speak on it about what really happened, that's what we're going to do. Yeah. So no matter what she tells anybody out there, even to the people of Cleveland, I'm speaking to you all, she could tell you whatever she wants. You got to look outside the box. You know, there's another side to her madness. And you just can't believe everything at face value that comes out of her mouth. I don't care what piece of paper she showed you. You need to speak to the actual people that tried him in that case.
Exactly.
I don't like speculation. I want to see actual facts. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see somebody get up there and say, "Oh, this happened to them and this happened to me." Not a bruise on her at all. And I asked her on the Dr. Phil show. They edited out. I asked her, I said, "Laura, can you please show us a bruise on your body or somewhere where he punched you and hit you? Where's the bruises at?" "Oh, I don't have any bruises." So how could somebody punch and knock you around all the time? You said all the time. That's a lot of trauma, 24/7. And you're able to get out there and speak the way you speak and talk the way you talk and go to a job of 17 years that you falsely got from lying and perpetrating. You're able to function, but you was starved and beaten
and thrown in the garage.
Years. You went on podcasts lying to these people.
Year and a half.
Look, you just need to stop the lies and tell the truth. I don't know who you mad at. I don't know why you mad at me and my siblings. We all know she didn't like us when she was in the home anyways. And so she's launched some smear campaign to try to take a dig at us anytime she won't. What she does is mentally she feels like, oh, well, since they said this happened to them, I'm going to say it happened to me too.
Yeah, that's her favorite thing. Me too. That's
You
that's
know,
her favorite thing.
and I'm
Let's
just like
get
going on these people's podcasts like that line is just a waste of time.
mm, uh, did you say some man came out of nowhere at the post office?
We know who the person was. He's a family friend. She
I
lied
know.
about that. She
Somebody,
knew.
some man came out of nowhere and just started talking to Musa in the post office. Was
She
it like
lied about.
that?
She lied. And this is not. We're not speculating when we're speaking.
It's facts.
We know the person.
They've
The
been on this
fact.
channel. They've been on this channel.
Yes, we
Like
know
I
the
said,
person that
yeah,
drove the both of them down that hill and was present. It was no distracting Musa so that she could send out a letter at all, because they wasn't even in the post office. She went in by herself and she lied about that. They enter after the fact. She straight lied about it. It was no watching her or she was afraid to slip off a letter.
or whispering in her ear, "You better do this" and all that
It was
crazy
none
crap,
of that.
like the
It
movie
was none of that.
portrays.
And I guarantee you, like we spoke about before, if it was a thorough investigation done of all of this stuff that she's saying, where there was a billboard up here and I was kidnapped and they had me up on the billboard, but I wore a veil. So no, she never wore a veil. If they look at all the areas that we lived in and they looked at convention centers and all types of stuff that them two went to, and they went to a lot, because she says that, oh, the family lived off this certain, because she was working. She lied about not even working. She was working. She was working. And our father had an import export business and he was working. Our mother was working. They had a lot of different types of ventures of different stuff that they was doing, being self-employed. And Laura was working as well and receiving welfare. So she's trying to cover and make like, oh, I was Miss Goody Two Shoes. I didn't do anything wrong. I was an angel, and I'm still an angel. Where the gremlins at when you need them?
The Gremlins. That Laura looked like the Gremlin from Gremlins 2.
She's sad.
And this makes her bad. She lied. She knew who was with them at the post office. She
She
knows
blatantly
exactly
knew. She knew all of Dad's male friends because she was in all of their faces. He couldn't
all the
go
time.
nowhere.
Yep.
All the time. He couldn't go nowhere. She was his right hand. He didn't go anywhere by himself. And when he did attempt to go with our sister anywhere, or he wanted to take us anywhere, or he tried to take Adrian anywhere, she got upset.
But after they left the post office, she claimed, like I'm gonna say, he locked her back in the garage. That's what she be saying. So
She was
that's what
never
she,
locked.
that's what she told those people.
She was never locked in the garage. Never. And like we clarified, it wasn't a garage, it was a room. And we've showed pictures. It wasn't. It was a room. She knew exactly what was going on. Like I said before, premeditated, and she's good at it. She's really good at it. Even when she said she was penniless, that she was
She said,
broke.
she said when the
Yeah.
police came, all y'all screamed, "The police is here."
It's impossible because we all was padlocked in rooms. It was impossible. See, she lied about that story too. She said she was in the garage, locked in the garage. It wasn't no garage. It was a room.
Yep.
And she was not locked in there. She was in the kitchen making breakfast for her kids. She was in the kitchen. That's where she was at. It wasn't none of that dramatic stuff that she made up going on at all. All these helicopters and army
Let me
rangers
play this
all
video
over.
right quick. I'm gonna play
G.I.
this video right
Joe.
quick that we were talking about earlier.
Shut and open. Then I heard walking on gravel, and it was getting closer. And I said to myself, gotta be. But I still didn't want to get my hopes up. And then all of a sudden I heard the bang, 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 bang at the door. And I could hear his kids inside running around screaming, Daddy, Daddy, police at the door. I knew. And sure enough, he opened the door and he got me out of there. And he asked me, first thing he asked me, what's going on? The cops are at the door. You know what's happening? Nope, I don't know anything. And went to the door with him. And this guy was so close up to me. I could feel his breath on my shoulder. That's how he was right behind me. And we opened that front door up and I saw the sheriff standing there and he had looked like a copy of my letter in his hand, right? And another sheriff standing off to the side and one standing far in the back. And I kind of, he started to talk like, are you Laura Cowan? And I go, yes. And he started to open his mouth like, I wanted to talk to you about, and I kept like motioning behind me with my eyeballs. Like he kind of picked up on it, go, we like to talk to you in private. And I go, okay. And then that's when he broke out. Moose says, oh no, you can't talk to her in private. What's this all about? Get off my property. Just ranting and raving. So he had the other deputies to maintain and keep him there. And he took me around to the side of the house and I explained to him, yes, I did write that letter. Yes, we are in trouble. Yes, my children are still in there. And we need help. And he called it back up. And next thing I know, that place was surrounded. We got out of there. Oh man, what a feeling. It was just, I just can't explain to you what it was to be rescued that day. See him in handcuffs. And he is now, as we speak, serving 7 consecutive life terms for what he did to me, my children, and his own. And so I don't have to look over my
Well, the facts are, again, we got the police report. And in the police report, the social worker, Marilyn Crawford, is her name, that she opened up the door, Laura did, and Marilyn Crawford walked her to the side of the house and spoke to her. It was no sheriff who spoke to her. The sheriff was after the fact. And I believe it was Detective DeFoy that talked to her. So she told another lie right there that, the police came banging on the door, because they did not bang on the door. It won't no bang, bang, bang and all that stuff. That's dramatic. And she lying again. It was none of that. It was none of that. And she went dead and opened up the door. And Dad was not breathing on her shoulder because he was in the room asleep. And he was not woken up by us because, like I said, we was padlocked in the room, in our room. So we was not yelling anything. She's making all of that up. And they have facts. The thing is in the police report, there was no police officer that had her come to the door and say, did you write this letter? No, it was a social worker, and her name is Marilyn Crawford, and it's in that police report. That social worker asked her, did she write that letter? And she said, yeah. And that social worker asked her to step out the house, and she went to the side of the house. And we know what else happened after that, too.
That's crazy. We get to this next.
All people got to do is ask, and they'll see facts. That's the thing.
We get to this next clip.
And I was worried for more my son than anything, by him being a male and witnessing a lot of violence, that make sure that he didn't turn into a perpetrator too. Yeah. Because it's a learned behavior. It really is, domestic violence. And it's just that power control that one uses over the other, but he is good. I can really honestly say that. He's 29 years old. My middle daughter is 26 and the little one is 23. They were only like 3 and 6 and 9 at the time. So it's been an ordeal, I'm telling you, just to keep all of our scruples in check, I tell you.
Okay, 3 years ago, they was not 23, 26, and 29. They was older than that 3 years ago. And then when they came out of the home, they was not 3, 6, and 9. They was 8 months 2.5 and 5. So she lied about that too, and that's in the police report as well. So that it was not 3, 6, and 9 when they came out of the home. That's another lie. So where she came up with that, only crazy she got going on is the crazy she brought into our home, because when she said that she didn't want her son to be violent, her son was already violent when he came in our home.
Yeah, I know you was telling me he had issues already.
He was very abusive. He was abusive to every last one of your siblings. He was abusive. He couldn't share. He was the type of kid, and this came from her and her family before we even knew them. Like Marcus said, he was standing in buckets. This wasn't nothing new with him standing in buckets. Marcus worked in her store, and like Marcus explained on another video, he was in the bucket. She would beat him all the time. She was standing in the bucket all day long. She didn't take care of him. You got a child taking care of another child while you run in the street with our father, and then you nailing your son and our brother shut inside of your shop. Then you're going to sit up there and tell another lie and say that I had my son go to counseling because I didn't want him to become that way. And notice, why do you got to make a 29-year-old go to counseling? Why do you got to make them go? That should be a choice to go to counseling.
I like what you said. I don't know if you remember this, but we talked about this before we got on. It was like, what, a week or something ago? Because I wasn't here last week, but when we talked about this a couple weeks back, you said no, she wanted him to go to counseling because she didn't want him beating her up from what she did to him.
He was already seeing a therapist before he came in our home. There was already some issues. He was violent already when he came in the house. Our little brothers, Christopher, Nikosi, and Chikosi, he didn't even want to share with them. He didn't want to share no action figures with them. He spit on them. He kicked them. He called them names. He would cry for nothing. Go off. He was abusive to our mother, and our mother got a charge on her for abusing him when her son was abusive to our mother. He would tell our mother would make him a nice meal. He would tell her, no, I don't want that. I'm not eating that. You know what he wanted? He wanted them TV dinners or McDonald's, some type of fast food, because that's the way she fed them. When we moved into her home, she had nothing but junk in her house. And it continued after we left her home and moved into a place where all of us live. She continued to feed her kids junk. The kid was already like that when he came in that home. I know from self-experience, him slapping me and Tiffany. Where would a 2.5-year-old, almost 3-year-old learn to slap a female? We would be praying. He would walk through the line, pull our scarves off of our head, kick us, slap our sister Joanna in the ear. He was already like that when he came into the home. And mom had to make special provisions for him. Food, mom wouldn't fix him no more food that she fed us. She would ask Laura, tell me what you want him to eat. And mom would go in her cabinet and get her food in the kitchen that she had and fix him the food she wanted. She'd buy him those TV dinosaur meals. You know, like that TV show Clifford?
Yeah.
The movie Clifford.
Yeah.
He liked them Clifford TV dinners. And so he had them dinosaur chicken nuggets, macaroni, and the peas would be in there, or the green beans. He wouldn't even eat that. He just eat everything. That was from her parenting. That's what that was from.
I mean, like,
and I can't say both of them parenting because I didn't know her husband, and God rest his soul. But I believe she played a lot of games with him like she did our father, because that what I saw in the house compared to what she's telling the media and what she's been doing, that is totally untrue.
And also I want to say, I know we mentioned this before, the reason why mom got a charge for her son, because mom stated in a report that she was always the one she was a of all the children, and he had that little
Was.
scar up there, and they went up, they thought that it came from her because she took care of all the kids in the home, but actually it came from what Laura did.
It's in the police report that Laura hit her son in the head with a shovel.
Yeah.
Me, Tiffany, and Keisha was interviewed, and because we all was in that backyard when it happened, and we told what she did.
Yeah,
and there's a police report. So when she says that there's no report of her being involved in any child abuse, yes, it is. That's not true. It is. People just haven't done a deep dive, and that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to this other video. I don't know if I played this. Just hold on.
How long were you in that situation? How long did he have you isolated?
Yeah.
Or
I would say 3 years, 3 years in that relationship. But that last year was the most deadly. I've noticed I started to see the change in his mental stability, and he was saying some bizarre things, that almost determined, if I can't have you, nobody else will. You're not going anywhere or leaving us. And it's like, talking about digging holes in the backyard. Don't you know, if nobody could find you, I can make sure you disappear. Things like that.
That's some fatal attraction stuff. She got that from a movie. Because he was surely trying to get away from her.
Because you told me that story. Tell me that story when y'all supposed to been going to the dentist, whatever, and what happened.
So mom had an appointment scheduled for, because when she wrote that letter that time on Chola Drive, she found a picture of us and put help on the back of it and threw it over that gate. So when the police and social services did come out, they did advise mom that all of us needed to get physicals and go to the dentist. So mom went, and I guess her and dad talked. Mom scheduled appointments for all of us to go to the dentist and go get physicals. Now, Laura didn't live in our house during this time because dad ran her out of there. Police was coming to our house too much. And she begged dad that she wouldn't call the police no more because they both was calling the police on each other. And so that day when we left to go to the dentist, dad pulls up in front of Circle K. And I know where the Circle K at till today. So that's another fact. And because she called the house. So she was standing out in front of Circle K with her son, standing up there looking like she was homeless. And so dad told her to get away from me. I don't want to talk to you. Stay away from me. Take your kid and go home. Oh, Musa, I want to talk to you. I got to talk to you, Musa. And was grabbing the door. Left her son outside. Went in the store with dad. I guess she got him to change his mind. He came back out of the store. She had called a cab and got in the cab and left her son standing in front of the Circle K. And so mom got out of the car, got her son, put her son in the van. And guess what? None of us went to our appointments that day. He just tell mom, Marva, I got to deal with this situation with her. It was nothing to deal with her. She was a psycho. It was nothing to deal with. So that was more neglect on us because every time she misbehaved, we got mom and all of us, we got punished. Our medical, our mental health and our medical health got put on hold. We got neglected. And this day, all of us was loaded up in the van to go get things, go to the dentist, get glasses, get physicals. She stopped that. She went in the store, said something to him, and he came out, took us home. Mom was like, you all just change out of your clothes. I'm going to reschedule your doctor's appointments. And that's what we did. And he was gone. He took off in the van, left, and was gone for a few days. Her son was with mom. So I'm just like, for her to sit up there and say that, that all the breathing on that. No, he tried to get away from her. And both of them had this thing. It was like, I'm going to get you back. Like you would see this loving relationship, like they was buddy, close friends, holding hands, rubbing up on each other, kissing all the time, showing off in front of everybody. But then they arguing over pettiness. I mean, she arguing over a loaf of bread. She's arguing over some peanut butter. Musa ain't got no more chicken patties left. Arguing over chicken patties.
Yeah.
Sodas. Then
so
threats started. Threats started to form. I'm gonna call the police on you. Then he started telling her, I'm gonna call the police on you. And it was always her thing with him, because you abusing your kids, I'm gonna call the police on you. And she did that. And guess what Dad did? Call the police on her because she was abusing her son, abusing and neglecting her son. That's what she was doing.
Let me get to this next video right here.
Mm-hmm.
On that one, I noticed one thing. Even you spoke of that. I believe in professional help. Some people like to run, and forgive me, run to the church. You know,
I got you.
That's one thing I like about the Journey Center, because I know Victoria Grant did a series on with come on, help me out, Carrie, with the pulpit. You know, the purple pulpit. Yes, so you got to talk to some of these deacons and Baptist preachers and pastors and bishops. You know, they're trying to keep the family together. Oh, you know, maybe just kind of need a break from them for a minute, but don't leave them. And you're trying to keep them, keep a person, a victim, with the abuser. And I don't agree with that whatsoever.
Oh, none of us do. None of us do. But I can. My pastor, she doesn't feel that way. In fact, that's why she partnerships with us.
Yeah, I'm glad that lady said something at the end, because it's like she's trying to like blanket like everybody in church does that. You know, every pastor, deacon, so no, that's not true at all.
Yeah, it's not. And I'm saying, if she'd have said some pastors or some deacons, some ministers, that's different. But she said all.
She make a blanket statement, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was saying all, and I'm saying that was wrong. But I'm like you said, it's a good thing the other lady stepped in and changed what she said, because like she said, no, my pastor don't do that. And shame on Laura for even saying that about, you know, the churches, because a lot of them in Cleveland have helped her out.
Exactly.
A lot of them. And one of them, she was up in their church lying and at the pulpit.
Yep.
In the pulpit, lying.
Yep.
You know, and then saying that the pastors, I've never, and I've gone to church myself, I've never known a pastor to tell a woman to stay with a man for abuse. Never.
Shameful.
So I'm saying she comes out of one so-called situation, and then she wants to turn all the religions into like, oh, it's abuse. Because that video you just showed a few minutes ago, the little clip you showed, I've watched that full video, and she said some really, it goes deeper than that. She said some really foul stuff about ministers, deacons, pastors. Even she spoke about the ushers.
Oh yeah, she did say.
She spoke about the ushers, how they real handsy and they like to touch you. So it's like with her, it's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. People help her. Especially people in Cleveland, they've really helped her. And she goes behind their back and she go on podcasts. And you know what she do? She starts a smear campaign. Like Lifetime. Lifetime go and help her with a movie. And know what she does? She goes to a Cleveland town hall meeting and sit up there talking about how they didn't put stuff in the movie that she wanted them to put up in there. And she don't know why they made the movie like that, but she didn't like it. I'm like, you ungrateful.
She crazy. She's
You getting your lie told. What do you care for? And then to say that about men in general, I mean, to be honest with you, if I was any man, for me personally, hearing the stuff that she said, I would be afraid to even be around her because of things that she say out of her mouth. That's why till today, I'm afraid I couldn't even be in her presence. She'll say you looked at her wrong. She'll say you looked out the corner of your eyes at her.
Like
she'll say she felt you smelling her. Like she said, she felt Dad breathing on her neck, and she liked every bit of it because he was that dark, tall, and handsome man that she liked, that she went into a relationship with, knowingly that he was married with 13 kids, and she wanted to work it out. And this is not me saying this.
That's what she
He
said.
said all of that.
Yeah.
Remember, when we speak, she said all of this stuff. That he was a tall, dark, handsome, charming man. He swept her off her feet. He was good to her for 3 years. And she's going to be forever grateful to him. That's why I said in a couple videos back, who would say that about an abuser that she claims did all of this stuff to her? Who would talk about somebody like that in that manner? Have any of us done it? Have we given him all these accolades?
Nope, not going to.
She gave him all of these accolades sitting up there on that podcast. And that he did help out a lot. But when I started to buck, because I was a gangster, ain't no man gonna put their hand on a woman and you're bucking at him and you're a gangster in his face all the time, because that's what she was doing in front of everybody. So I'm just like, I don't see clear where the abuse came from. And then leading up to the last end of the 3 years, 6 months out of that, he locked her in the garage. And it don't even add up because you had an 8-month-old daughter. It just don't add up. Last time I checked, he said on the Dr. Phil show that it was more like, he said, now you wasn't with him for 4 years. She said, no, it was more like 2-3 years.
Yeah, she did say
now
that.
She's pulling this 3-year stuff again.
Yeah. Let me get to this next clip. This will be the last one right here.
House of Horrors. And then No One Can Hear You Scream. That was 2 years ago. That was an hour and still a little bit more, but still, that's a big story to put in that little time slot, you know. So I know people have questions. That's why the book is important. And it's just, man, I tell you, I want to leave a legacy for my children. Something for them. So when I'm no longer here, they can carry on the work as well.
Who wants to carry on a legacy of lies?
Exactly.
Who wants to carry on a legacy? That's not a legacy when you're lying.
Yeah,
it's not a legacy.
You straight stole somebody else's story and you put yourself and your children in it. You know, okay, you lived in the home, but that abuse didn't happen to you. It's bottom line. It's facts. It didn't happen to her.
I don't know how you're gonna carry on a legacy full of lies. A bunch of I just don't get it. I don't get it. Why would you want to leave your kids a legacy like that? I mean, you got one daughter who was 8 months old coming up out of that home, and you filled her head and brainwashed her with a bunch of lies because she could not sit up, because I've never seen her sit up on a podcast and speak. I need Taz to actually sit on a podcast and verbally say what abuse that she went through. She can't. Only thing she can do is make up stuff. And the other 2 kids, what their mother told them. Because I was looking back at this other, I think it was Anderson Cooper, Jane Velez Mitchell, where her son was backstage and he was just saying that he didn't know anything at all. You know, all he knows is his mom is compassionate about what he do. And then he said when he tried to think about it, he don't remember anything. But then you go back and you go on another show on Discovery, No One Can Hear You Scream, and you talking about all this stuff that didn't even happen. And I was sitting there observing him, looking at him, and he just looked like he wasn't even there. I don't know him as a grown man personally now, but the visual look, he looked like he was high.
Yeah.
And then her daughter was sitting up there squeezing tears out of her eyes. Miriam, I'm really shocked at her.
We're gonna do we're gonna do a video on that with her and Taz.
It's a lot. We got a lot of footage. A lot of footage of Miriam, a lot. So she can see how dad treated her. Her mother has lied. I'm just like, It's bad. That's why I said all of them. And yeah, they her children, but all of us we asked our own questions to our own mother. And we did, even though a lot of our questions that we asked didn't get answered, we did ask, you know, but they need to do the same thing. Ask. They need to do their own research, all three of them. That's what they need to do. Because I'm saying you have parents, you have parents that will raise you and do some horrible stuff to you. Hey, you grow up believing something that happened that didn't even happen. This stuff goes on in a lot of families. We're not the only family. This stuff goes on in a lot of families. But one thing I'm letting nobody do is her. I will not let her tell me what I saw, and I will not let her stop me from speaking and me telling actually what type of person she was.
The thing is, you got those diaries going back, so
yeah,
they accurate. I saw some of them. So
yeah, it's a lot of stuff that she said out of her mouth that she shouldn't have said. There's some facts to it. It's
a mess.
Especially when you got a paper trail of everything that she lied about. And it's not just, oh, we're just sitting up here telling the story. No, we've actually seen this stuff and have it. And it's just like, it's just bad.
We want to go to next. No, you sent me a lot of information because we're trying to cover.
Okay, what I wanted to cover next is that I'm noticing by looking at these interviews, because we do this every week. We always prep, for this stuff. So we know. And so what I was looking at is a lot of her interviews that you go back and you look at. This is just a reminder to all of our viewers and anybody that's watching, even our siblings. Be reminded of this when you look at Laura's interviews, anywhere you may see them, is that she never really says what Musa did to her. She always say, number one, Musa tried to do this to me. But when she says Musa tried to do this to me, she never says actually what he tried to do to her. She finds a story that happened to one of us and say, for example, Musa tried to bury me in a hole. How are you a kidnap victim and somebody is watching you 24/7 and they tried to bury you in a hole, but they never accomplished it? How can we understand something like that? How do you explain something like that to us? What type of manpower did he have? Because I know all of us, we were small, defenseless children. We couldn't fight him off. Mom fought him off. He got the best of her. She was, taller than him and bigger than him. 100 pounds bigger than him. And so I'm just like, how could a man that size try to bury you in a hole? That didn't happen. She took the story that happened to our three brothers, Marcus, Michael, and Marlon, because Adrian told her how Musa buried those boys in a hole on that property we lived on. And she took that and she changed it around. She used it to her own leisure to tell the story, to flip it and tell it the way she wanted to. But I'm saying it's never clear answers. Like even on Miss McCall's YouTube channel, she asked her, Laura, what type of counseling are you getting today? She didn't even answer it. She went on talking about her kids.
Yeah, she sure did.
She was like,
we got this type of therapy, that therapy, pet therapy, this therapy. I'm like, really? Like, she don't say what type of therapy.
That's a narcissist. Okay, pet therapy. Explain it in detail.
Exactly.
What is pet therapy? Having a puppy. What is that puppy there for? What is that puppy in your presence for? What can it do for you? The parrot. What was the parrot there for? Last time I know it ran away, but I'm still trying to figure out what was the parrot doing for her. I'm just like, it don't make no sense. And then, like I said, it's always the words try to, would do, or was going to.
I wouldn't let him do that. But you claiming you wouldn't let him do something, but at the same time saying he did something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can't name what he did.
My question to Laura is, what did he try to do? Because I still don't know what did he try to do. All I know is that you took a story from our three brothers and you've been on a ton of podcasts and said that he tried to bury you in a hole. And then when you lied on that podcast on Top TV to that interviewer, Charles White, and told him Musa tried to bury me in a hole, you didn't even tell the truth. You didn't tell that Adrian Easter told you that story that happened to our three brothers, and you went and you used it. You turned the story upside down. This is what we were telling Dr. Phil on the show, that the abuse that she's saying she went through, she did not go through. She used all of our story to paint a picture like she was abused when she wasn't, because that's clear to all of us. It's not what we saw in our home. So, that's just something, it's just way out.
Yeah, just pay attention, everyone, when you go online and you listen to her talk or you listen to an interview. Just pay attention.
And then what happened? My next question is, what happened that he tried so much to do all of this stuff that he did to her, but he never accomplished burying her? And believe me, if a kidnapper is as vicious as she say he was, he would have buried her. Okay? Because like I said, we was defensive little kids. We couldn't fight him off. And with your minds not being developed, they was all adults in the home. They had fully developed, grown brains, had been out in the world, lived their lives.
She only said that he stopped her from going to school and working. Now, we know she worked, but he didn't stop her from going to school. She already had an education, and she could have did whatever she wanted to do.
And she worked.
So
she
it's like
worked in the home. She did ceramics, her own ceramics. She took ceramic. She made all types of elephants. She had a wheel. She had a ceramic wheel. She made all types of plates, cups, elephants, all types of vases. And I'm just saying, she was not like, she was going to convention, and it's not like she was making like $800. Her and dad was going to these conventions, and they was coming back home with $15,000-$16,000 of supplies that she had sold, that she had made on her wheel, on the clay wheel. So that's not true. What she's saying, that she was all this broke and he made her life worse. And she know why she stayed. She knew that he was a smart man and he had the brains for her. Talking about financial stability. You know exactly why you stayed. And then for some reason, you have an account, okay? Now, according to their so-called twisted minds of, he claims that he could do polygamy because in his religion it says so. He was wrong for that. And I don't care what nobody say, he was wrong. Because he couldn't even take care of the family that he had. He didn't even cherish the children that he had or the wife that he had. So he couldn't take care of another family. And those two women wasn't supposed to be living in our home, eating up the resources that we had and making us suffer more, because that's what happened. So what they was doing, this was like, for me, now that I'm an adult, I'm going to tell the audience that it was a sexual thing for them too. Because my mother was married to him for 25 years and she had 13 kids with him, so it's different. But for them two, it was a sexual thing and it was a money thing, because dad had a lot of money. Everybody knew him out there in the Riverside area. He sold all types of incense. He sold women's garment, all types of jewelry, frankincense and myrrh, all types of perfumes. He did a lot, okay? And she knew it. She knew what what he was about because he came to her store. They was running around. He was helping her out. She already knew that.
Mm.
And so I'm saying the way the both of them did each other and the way that they acted. And I'm just like, just a lot of the guessing stuff. A lot of guessing, a lot of I believe or I think. I don't like it. I really don't. I'm like, and I'm not saying that this is just me as an individual. I'm not saying I do guess sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
This is totally different,
whole different situation.
You know, like if you're taking a test in the class and you want to guess something on your multiple choice, you know, test or you know, in a book, that's different. But I'm saying with this situation right here, it's been a lot of I believe, I guess, or I think.
Yeah.
And I've heard it out of her mouth too much.
Also out of that detective mouth too, what he said.
Yeah. He believes. He said he believes that she was in fear of that. How do you believe that and you didn't live in the home?
No evidence for her. For him,
you have no evidence
for him to believe that she was in fear of dad. That he had been abusive to her. There had to be some type of records that he's been abusive to her and doing this and court paperwork or pictures are showing that he abused her. So how can you just say, well, I believe she was in fear of him because they had no way out of the home and all that stuff? She had an automobile. She had a truck.
She had several vehicles.
Yeah.
That wasn't the first vehicle. She has several. But to go back to what you were saying about that detective, Julie Baldwin was in that No One Could Hear You Scream too. And she sat up there and she literally lied too, because she said that the family had limited money, limited resources.
Mm-hmm.
We did not have limited funds. Okay. Our father has $73,000 in the bank, and I have the letter. And Laura Cowan closed out that account because she convinced our father to put her name on that account. She stole from our mother. She stole money from Adrian. She stole money from all 13 of my mother's children. She stole money from Adrian and her 2 children. And she stole money from all of us. That was not her money that was in that account.
She came out of the situation with none. They was like she had
lying
money,
because she went down to Palm Springs talking about the DA put her up in the shelter. No, they didn't. I've already talked to some people in Riverside. She was not in a shelter, because the reason why they couldn't put her in the shelter because she wasn't battered. She didn't have no bruises on her body. It wasn't the situation that me and my siblings was going through. They did put her up in the hotel, and she in turn stayed in that hotel and then went down to the Palm Springs, got all that money out of the bank. And then what she did, she flew to Cleveland, and that's where she been at ever since. Matter of fact, one of the individuals stated to us they hadn't seen her since she left California in late 2000. She came back to California in 2009 when his trial happened. And she was there for 30 minutes. They paid for a room for one night. She was there for 30 minutes and she flew right back out. That's what she did. So I'm just like, you know, when you're talking about you was penniless and you didn't have this, people in Cleveland should know. I mean, the lady closed out account with $73,000 in it, took the money and left. And then she's ungrateful because I didn't like the fact that she was sitting up there on the Meredith Vieira show. I viewed that again. And I know I mentioned this before, but I mentioned it in this scenario, is that when you have somebody that has giving hands and they're a giving person and that they care about what you went through, they want to help you out because they believe your story. You don't sit up there and say that we didn't have, we need so much more. This is a blessing.
Oh yeah, she did say
while
that.
they're giving her housefuls of furniture. The thing is, if you were so independent, you had a degree when you came in our home, you was penniless, and all of this stuff. Why, when you were on your own, your children is sleeping on the floor? This is the same stuff that she said that he had her doing, sleeping on a mat. And she lied about that because she had a nice bed. That he had her sleeping on a mat. But then she shows her children's room. Oh, I couldn't get a job. Why couldn't you get a job? You couldn't get a job, none of that after the fact. And I'm like, you a full grown, blown woman with a full developed brain that been out there, lived life, had been married before, had kids. All of that stuff. But you telling me you couldn't take care of your kids and they had to sleep on the floor. Then Meredith Vieira is bringing all this furniture to her house, all types of stuff, and then paying for groceries for a whole year. And while they're giving, she's saying that this is nice, but we need so much more. You know that's ungrateful. Everybody that done helped her, I look at it like this. She done bit everybody's hand that done fed her. Everybody.
Yo, but check this out. I was looking at my text. I was looking at what you texted me earlier. You know, bring a little comedy to it right quick about what Marlon said.
You know, that was crazy.
Yeah, we need Marlon back up here because Marlon, man, he said, "What are you talking about?" That
He was telling me last week. Well, this week. He was telling me. Was it last week?
he
No,
was
it's the
saying that
beginning
Dad
of
was
this week.
immortal and Dad was going to live.
He
The
said that.
Mohadi told Dad that he was going to live forever.
He said that Dad talking about that he was on some type of, like the Silver Surfer.
Yeah,
He was on a surfboard one night riding with the Mahadif, and the Mahadif told him he was going to live forever, that he was immortal, that nobody could kill him. He was never going to die because he was one of the chosen ones. I said, oh, really, Marlon? He said, yeah, like Highlander. And then the funny part when he said, yeah, because Marcus knew all those martial arts. And he said Marcus was like Bruce Lee. I was like, no way. Then he said Bruce Leroy. I was like, no. Then he said that Dad was afraid of Marcus. I was like, well, if he was afraid of Marcus, he wouldn't have did the things he did to all of us. He wouldn't have did that.
And then he said that Dad didn't want to go to sleep because.
Excuse me for 1 minute. Let me close this door. Okay, go ahead.
Because you asked him, did he get that from the movie The Highlander? Because,
Yeah.
the Highlander had his head chopped off, and he was talking about Dad was afraid to go to sleep because he didn't want Marcus
to chop his head off. I was like, please, Marlon. I said he was that afraid of Marcus. He wouldn't have did half the stuff he did.
When you sent me that text, I was weak. I was like, what is going on? Marlon,
it was crazy.
Marlon is all the chick. Marlon be coming up with stuff. You're like, where do you get this from?
Like when he was talking about we was talking about Kmart a couple weeks ago.
He know he was in Kmart. He know he was up in there hiding out.
He was up in there having a ball.
Yeah.
He was up in there having a ball. I don't blame him. Like I told him, I said, I ain't mad at you. You know? He's up in there having a ball. But like I said, half the stuff that all of us been through, this is just some of it people wouldn't believe.
Yeah, so it's people.
It's a lot more.
That's why Laura, she can't explain anything. She can't say when. She can't give you no time date. She can't give you, what marks she got on her body, when, why, and what dad said to her when it happened. She keeps saying, no, he abused me, but you cannot explain anything.
I guarantee you this. Every last one of our siblings can tell you all of the addresses we lived at, even before she even came along. I can verbally tell you, because it's in my memory, all the addresses we lived at, what our parents' beeper numbers was, and what their cell phone numbers was. I can tell you that.
And also,
I can tell you the schools.
Laura had a cell phone, so
Yeah, she had one. And I have all three of the numbers. That's another thing that's going to be exposed. All three of their numbers. So when, Julie Balderman mentioned they had limited resources, the lady could call the police. She had a cell phone.
she had a car.
She had a car. She had a cell phone. She could have packed her stuff. But look, when the police came up there, like I said, all that stuff was premeditated. I ain't never seen nobody take somebody out of a house and they got their bags packed like they going on vacation. She had suitcases and all that stuff packed and was ready to go. She had all that stuff set up. She knew exactly what she was doing. So that's why I was just like, I'm shocked at that one right there. I'm just like, people stop telling us, oh, I believe this happened. Even when you make comments and stuff, I believe this happened. Ask questions. If we up here on this platform and we going live, ask us questions, and we can talk about it. Or even if we're not live and we're off the live and you go comment, ask us and we'll get back to you, answer the question. But I'm just saying, we're the ones who lived through that. So I'm just like, your beliefs and what you think and what you guess, that ain't how that work. Especially if you wasn't there.
I mean, 20-something years, 25 years is about going around everywhere.
Yeah. Like I said, the both of them belong together.
I'm going to play this right quick. Just check this. I'm going to play this right quick.
She swears she was tortured.
In that garage, I was held captive.
But the children who survived that house of horrors...
She was able to eat while my father starved us.
...claim she's lying.
She was not held captive.
No.
She was not abused.
No.
For the first time.
You heard what Marcus said?
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody heard what our brother Marcus said out there. She was able to eat while our father starved us. And that's the truth. And that is not speculation. That's pure facts because he lived in the home. And all of us saw it and we experienced it. And when Dr. Phil asked those three questions, that she was not held captive, she was not abused, she was not starved, Keisha answered 3 times, no. And that's from living in the home and seeing it. Seeing her come and go whenever she pleased, seeing her eat whatever she wanted. And it's strange how all of this stuff that she's saying he did to her through VCRs at her head would slap her around all the time. Nobody ever heard it or saw it. But everything that was going on with us, even if the door was closed, she knew it. You know why? Because she was present and she recorded all of it.
That's why. She watched it too.
That's why they have so much evidence, because she was present when the abuse was going on. She didn't stop it. She liked it. She aided in it, and she enabled it. Just like Mike said, she would tell things on us, and I'm saying it too. She would tell things on every last one of us. When they left the house together, all of us knew what she was doing. His mind was already twisted anyways, but he was very impressionable. That's the type of person he was. And the thing is, all of us knew when they would leave and go out, be gone for days, that's all she was doing, was tainting his mind.
That's crazy. They were gone for days. I mean, you was telling me they'd be gone here,
Rick,
going there, going
they'd
to
be gone for a week or two. They would be gone, both of them. And know what he would do? He would just call and check in, say, I'm coming home in a few days, and wouldn't come home. And she would leave her kids. Why you take your kids with you with him? Why would you leave your kids with our mom? You're professing all your love for and all that. And somebody took your kids. Why you ain't take them with you? There is no way if I was on a mountain that high up in the air that day and I was her age and had an 8-month-old daughter that I would have left that property without getting my 8-month-old daughter. There's no way. I would have had asked the police to call your supervisor. I'm not leaving. I would have stayed there. You know what she did? She got her butt up in that van with her daughter and she left. She left her daughter. She knew her daughter was not in any danger. Her daughter was not taken until a month and a half later when dad went back to court on a bail hearing. And they took her because they told her you can't take the kid because that's a family court case, and they hand the baby back to mom. So if mom was this big bad wolf and the baby was in all the danger, they would have gave the baby to Lord. They gave the baby back to mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, and that's just the facts of it. Remember when we came to Virginia and you met Laura?
Yeah.
Did you see when you looked at her that she was some battered, abused woman? Or did she look like she was in fear of dad?
Nah, she didn't like she was afraid of him. Didn't look like she was battered or anything. She just looked normal, and it's like they was in a relationship. That's what it looked like. You know, I know mom was there because I didn't know the whole situation until it was explained to me. But I met her, but she didn't look like she was afraid of him. She was holding Taslima as y'all was walking in the home. Some of y'all couldn't come in because y'all had, some shoes and stuff. So some of y'all stayed in the van. But I didn't see it at all. I didn't see none of that. All that stuff that she's talking
Did
about.
she look like she was starved?
Nah, she was healthy to me. Yeah, because like I said, I spoke with her. I took Taslima out of her arms so I can hold Taslima. That you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, and she spoke to me. I don't know. I think I probably told her my name. Y'all probably told my name at that point. But
Yeah.
who I was. Yeah.
And that's the thing. She don't never tell people in these interviews that she went to Virginia because she went with us twice.
Yeah.
She's never told people that. She hasn't told anybody that she traveled 3,000 miles with us to Virginia twice. And she's never told any of these interviewers that our parents left for 3 weeks when his brother passed. And she could have left.
Oh, but that's the time hold up. That's the time he was good with her.
Yeah.
That's what she's gonna try to claim.
I don't get it. How do you? She talking about he was snapping, but she was doing a lot of snapping in that house, consistently using threats of self-harm. She consistently did that.
Yeah, you was telling me that.
She consistently used threats of self-harm. When the attention shifted in the home from her onto other children or onto mom or onto Adrian, she lost her mind. She lost her mind. She would say all types of crazy stuff. She would just act belligerent. And she talking about he snapped. She was snapping all the time. All the time. She was snapping. And like I said, I know why she was snapping. She was doing a lot. The most. She was doing a whole lot of stuff. And her behavior in the home, she was very antagonistic. She was a gaslighter. Um, she I even think today, like I said, she believed that she's some type of angel, that she ain't do nothing wrong.
Mm.
And then she ain't never copped to even doing anything wrong till today. Like I said, it's highly impossible. And I've told the DA several times for one person to do all the stuff that was going on in that home. It was just, mm-mm. And I'm just
It's
like, when you look at that stuff and you witnessing two people calling each other names, and then they slamming doors on each other. And then she would lock her door so he couldn't get in their room. She would lock the door and tell him, "You got to apologize to me first." So he would have to apologize. So I'm just like, I mean, when you see stuff like that, it's like, what the heck is going on? And kids, when you have a child, yeah, I'm gonna tell it because you mixed up. You can't explain it. You don't know what's going on. Like, why are they acting like that? Like I said, with the threats, both of them threaten each other a lot.
Yeah.
But like I said, the number one threat that they talked about with each other, he was going to get her for abusing her son and their daughter, and she was going to get him for abusing his kids.
And,
So when you look at it now, the situation of what happened, it was a game they was playing, who going to get who first.
all right, we've been up here. I know we got a lot, and I know I wasn't up here last week, so we had to put some stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, we can guess we're gonna go over some of this other information next week because we have a lot here, and it's a lot. We've been for about an hour, so
Hour 12 minutes.
yeah. So
We still got a lot to dissect.
is there anything you want to leave us with before we go, Crystal?
Yeah. Just to all our siblings, whenever they decide they want to get up here and speak, that help support us with doing some heavy research. They welcome anytime.
Yeah, they're more.
But we've been carrying this thing for the last almost 9 months. And like I said, like I said, I didn't realize how big of a paper trail all of this stuff was.
Yeah.
The things my eyes have seen, it shocked me. It's really shocked me.
Me as well. When we start digging in and start from the videos to the other paperwork that you've been doing out there, the footwork you've been doing, and information you've been giving me, and stuff I've been looking up on my own. It's so much, and trying to just
It's like they was hiding. It's like they've been hiding stuff from us. And why would you hide it from us? It happened to us, and it's like they was hiding it.
Yeah, and
it feels like still now they still trying to hide stuff.
What is the point, and why support her when nothing happened to her? That's what kills me. It's like nothing happened to this lady, and they know this, and to support her like that.
The bad part is that when you can talk out of your mouth about a family and their personal abuse that they went through, you can't be trusted. And I don't got no respect for her. I don't like her. I don't have no respect for her at all. And it's nothing, not even an apology of the things that she has done that I can even take. Because, I mean, when you do that for so many years like that, it's like, no. I mean, if you hurt somebody, I apologize. You just can't say that. If you did this, I apologize if I did that. It was a lot of stuff. The only two things that I'm going to leave you with is this. And somebody brought this to my attention today. They said, watching that Dr. Phil show, that the two things that they remember coming out of her mouth is that all of us was wrong and that I did not have a refrigerator, Dr. Phil. That's all she was concerned about. She wasn't concerned about nobody's feelings and why we were speaking and how all of us felt. Even in her sick mind, if she thought that, oh, yeah, they wrong, but maybe they could have perceived that this way, she didn't lift not one apology to none of us, even after our sister Sharon asked her to apologize to all of us for all the lies that she's told her daughter and went out and told lies and used all of us to apologize.
She got to
She
keep
didn't
that
take
money.
heed.
She has to keep that money coming in so she can't. It's sick.
Eventually, she gonna have to apologize. Eventually, I'm gonna tell you, she gonna have to. There's no way you can live a life like that. I'm just saying, and I'm saying boldly, just making up a lot of lies. Making up lies and there's no evidence to it. Like me and you, we've spoke to a lot of these reporters. We've
Yeah.
spoke to a lot of these editors. We've spoken to a lot of these channels and stuff. And they pretty much believe her story at face value. One guy told me it's a family issue. No, it's not, because she's not our family and she was never our family.
Yeah, so it's a tough thing, you know. It's just,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. We're gonna get there. As long as we up here, we're just talking about and we're shedding some light, bringing light to it on every
Mhm.
situation. You know, people see it. You know,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
she see it too. Oh, everybody, they know what's up, but
Yeah, we
it's just
probably her
it's
number one
like,
fans.
huh?
She's probably our number one fan.
Yeah.
Yep.
How you say it? She a public figure, so
Yeah.
she
Like
did
I
this
said, like
herself.
you said earlier today, she said it and she
Yeah,
did. She said it. And we're debunking everything that she said.
that's what we're gonna keep doing. Gonna
And
keep
it's crazy that you gotta debunk everything that she said. I mean, this is a person that's a habitual liar. When you gotta debunk everything that somebody say.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, but we'll be back next week, everyone. We got more stuff for you. We're going, like I know I always say, we're gonna go into them diaries and other stuff, but people, we're gonna get to it. It's just so much information.
That's gonna be explosive.
It's just so
It's
much
a lot.
because
Even that 14-page
the
appeal, that's
yeah.
terrible. That
And
one right there.
what's going on with everyone? It's like me and Crystal, we run across so much information that sometimes we get sidetracked
Yeah.
because we'll find another video or we'll do some paperwork and it'll lead us somewhere else. So we have so many stories and so many like videos to put together. It's just we get sidetracked because information is like all over the place. Y'all just wouldn't believe it's
Stacks and
everywhere.
stacks and
That
stacks
I
of
mean,
files. I'm just like, and you can't make this stuff, especially if you knew every place you lived at and you know every store that she went to.
mm-hmm.
You know about the convention center that they went to up
You
north. You
told me
know
about
about
it. You told me
every
about
rental
that. Yeah.
car place that they went to. It's like,
It's stacks of stuff. Y'all just wouldn't believe it's a trail everywhere. So I
it's
mean,
crazy. Going to the movies all the time. I'm just like using up other family funds that you're not supposed to be dipping into. All types of stuff that she was doing.
yeah.
And I'm like, and then take the story, turn it, and no, it all happened to me. But I'm trying to leave a legacy for my kids. Like I said again, I don't know what type of story could her kids possibly tell. The only thing they would tell is a story of lies that she done brainwashed them with for years. And when Keisha was mentioning on the Dr. Phil show, and I leave you with this, that, and I love my sister dearly, but I disagreed with her with this. Just like anybody can disagree with me. When she told Taz, I'm not telling you to go against your mother, I'm going to say this. I'm telling Taz to go against your mother.
Exactly.
I'm go against her. I'm telling you, do your own research. Because sometimes you might think in your head, because I've felt that way. Not having a great relationship with my mother. Not even really, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't even know our father. I don't. And I think Sharon and Marlon mentioned this on a podcast that they don't even know them. They don't. I know my mother's name. I know where she live at and all that, but I don't know her as a person. I don't even know who our father is. Because when you just got memories of nothing of bad things that he did, and I ain't talking about a mom, I'm talking about him right now, just bad things that he did, that stuff is just like, I mean, what good can you say about him?
You can't.
And we're all grown adults and we being mature here. And we're speaking mature and truthfully about the situation. So I'm just like, I don't know. And that's just the truth of the matter. I don't even know who he is. And I understood what Marlon Sharon was saying, and people probably felt a certain way. I understand what they're saying. You just don't even know who that person is. You know they're your parents, but you saying truly, we know who each other is because we've been talking to each other on the phone. We've been around each other. We know who each other is. But I'm just like, when you, I mean, Marlon, he's something else. I can tell you a whole story about him. But I'm just saying, you just don't even know who that person is.
Mm.
But like I said again to Taz, yeah, go against your mother because your mother is wrong.
Yeah.
If you got to find out the truth, or you have a brain like all of us have, and deep down inside of you, you know there's an inkling of something, trust your instinct and go investigate. Ask questions. That's what I did. And I'm continuing to do it. And guess what? Throughout me and Richard doing this, we found out a lot of stuff. And it just get the whole of stuff that we find out about, the hole gets deeper and deeper and deeper.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're going to end on that note. We'll be back next week, Friday, live. We may have another sibling up here, whatever. I'm not quite
Mm-hmm.
sure, but they need to come back up here and start talking as well. But all right, everyone, have a blessed day and a blessed week.
Mm-hmm. And everybody have a nice night. Good night.